Okay, 85 people who grew up in either New York or Los Angeles were surveyed. So we got 85 people that we're asking questions. We want to know whether they like hip hop or rock. Okay. Of those that grew up in Los Angeles, 17 preferred hip hop. So that means 17 needs to go here, right? Because here's hip hop and here's Los Angeles. They both intersect right here. The category for hip hop and Los Angeles, they meet up right here in this cell. So 17 preferred hip hop and 45 preferred rock. So we got that. 40 in LA, 45 preferred rock. They already wrote that for us. Of those who grew up in New York, 14 preferred hip hop. They've already written that. And so now they've left a blank for rock. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it says right here both and neither were not accepted. They had to pick one. Okay, so we can use that to help us help us whittle down how many people are left over. 14 people in New York liked hip hop. 17 people in LA liked hip hop, and 45 in LA liked rock. So if we subtract that from 85 from the total amount of people surveyed, then what's left over has to be the amount that likes rock. So I subtracted all the numbers in the cells that were currently there after we read through the word prompt. 9 are left over for being in New York and liking rock. So to make a Venn diagram, there's two categories. There's hip hop and there's rock. And actually, you don't necessarily need circles for this Venn diagram because they said you can't pick neither, which would be. Actually, I had to pause and check because there's lots of different ways you can make this Venn diagram. You could have one be New York, one be rock, one be LA, one be rock. For mine, they chose New York as the left circle and hip hop as the right circle over here. Okay, so we could figure out how many people are from New York. 14 liked hip hop in New York, plus 9 liked rock. So there's 23 people total for this for the New York circle. And look, if this right circle over here, I guess I can color code this. If the red circle is hip hop, there were 9 people that liked both. There's 9 people that were in New York City. Oh, that's rock. Sorry, I misread that. There were 14 people that were in New York City and also liked hip hop. So we put a 14 in the circle there. And so there's 9 left over here to make the grand total of 25 in New York City. Right? And so left over here is being a person who likes hip hop and not being in New York City. So this is liking hip hop and being LA in this place right here. And that's 17 from our table. Right? So if this black circle is New York, 9 did not like hip hop, 14 did like hip hop. If the red circle is people that liked hip hop, 14 liked hip hop and lived in New York City, 17 liked hip hop but lived in LA. And so that means this circle outside here is people that do not like hip hop and people that are not in New York City. Right? So in other words, that's people that live in LA and liked rock because they can only pick hip hop or rock. So that's 45 out here. How many New Yorkers preferred rock? We already got that from the table. That was right here. I wonder why they're asking that question again. There was 9 from our table.